So XDobo sent over the Prince 1995, and I've been using it for about 2 weeks now. And I always say the bet of a good product is actually from two things: good product design and good product functionality. So when the design of the product works hand in hand with the function of the product, this actually gives you a very, very good product. And the Prince 1995 is a clear example of that. So this is a Bluetooth speaker, a portable Bluetooth speaker, which means it can be easily moved around, obviously by its small size, and it's actually meant for outdoors. So you can send it out for picnics, you can send it out for hikes, you can also send it out for camping as well. So we'll talk about three things here. We'll talk about the design of the speaker, we're going to talk about the sound, and we're going to talk about a few extras of the Prince 1995. So moving on to the design, the first thing we notice here is the shape. So the Prince 1995 actually comes in a cube shape with rounded edges. You guys know how I feel about rounded edges. I'm a big fan. They are more comfortable to hold, and that is a plus to have on the Prince 1995. The next thing we also notice with the speaker is the speaker grill. So we have metal speaker grills here. I'm a big fan of metal speaker grills. No fabric speaker grill here. So the metal is actually going to last longer as compared to the fabric speaker grills, and that's also a plus. But the most prominent thing about the design is this. So this orange strap here serves as a handle, and as I said earlier, this is a portable speaker. So the orange strap serves as a handle, which allows you to move the speaker around and things like that. The other next thing about the design is this. So you notice we have this gray looking silicone, and it actually runs almost 360 around the entire Bluetooth speaker, and it's actually there for a purpose. So since you are more likely and there's a higher probability of you dropping this speaker when you go outdoors, the silicone rubber here actually serves as some form of drop protection for the Bluetooth speaker, and that is very, very nice. So the Prince 1995 is actually IPX7 rated, and this means the speaker can survive for 1 meter for up to 30 minutes in the water. I wouldn't recommend you go trying this out, but it's good to know your speaker is protected against accidental spills or splashes when you go outdoors. So the water resistance of the speaker is actually made possible because of another silicone tube at the back of the Bluetooth speaker. So as you can see, we have another silicone tube here, and it's protecting the USB-C port, which is for charging, and the micro USB slot. So if you are to experience any form of water damage, then it means somehow some water got into these ports, and that is actually what caused the water damage. So to always keep your speaker safe, I would always recommend you always keep the silicone tube well covered and sealed on these ports. So the water resistance is actually made possible because these ports are actually being sealed. Okay, so moving on to the sound. So the Prince 1995 is actually a 12-watt Bluetooth speaker. So it actually has one driver, and that single driver is responsible for the bass, the vocals, and the other components of the music. So let's take a listen. I ran a few tests on the Prince. Let's take a listen. So yep, the Prince is actually not the bassiest Bluetooth speaker I've actually encountered. It actually has less bass here, but the vocals from this speaker are sharper and more accurate than any Bluetooth speaker I've actually tested. So some people tend to prefer the lyrics coming out from a music than the bass and other things like that. So with the sound, I'm actually going to give the Prince 1995 a rating of 7 out of 10. I actually think it does well, and the bass actually gets better when you increase the volume or you put it on higher volume levels. Okay, so moving on to extras, I don't really know the milliamperes in this speaker, but this is the best battery life on any Bluetooth speaker I have experienced, and there's actually an obvious tech behind that. So the Prince 1995 actually works like this. So since it's an outdoor speaker, it's quite obvious you wouldn't have any electric outlet when you go hiking or camping. So when you charge this device, automatically it actually moves to this mode where whenever you tune the volume to a higher volume setting, it automatically reduces and like tunes some of the components of the music just to give you a more optimized battery life. And I'm telling you, this is the best battery life I've actually had on a Bluetooth speaker. Even though you are having better battery life here, but obviously there are some corners it's actually cutting. It actually affects your listening experience, and I'm sure this is what is responsible for the less bass on this Bluetooth speaker. Either way, I think it's a very nice trade-off they actually did, because when you're outdoors, obviously you are not having any electric outlets there. You are going into the woods, you are going far from people, you are going far from electricity, and it is good to know you would have exceptional battery life when using this Bluetooth speaker. This is amazing. So if you got this far into the video, a sub to the channel would go a long way and will help push the channel forward. Okay, so the next extra here is actually longevity. So as I said earlier, the speaker automatically tunes the sound of your music for a longer battery life, and that is good. But also, this actually saves your speaker from wears and tears. So look at this. So if you are actually listening to your music at higher volumes for longer periods of time, slowly but surely it actually damages your speakers, and over a long period of time your speaker might not last as long as it's supposed to do. But with this speaker, you actually don't have any issue with that. You are more safe with this feature, and as I said earlier, it's actually a trade-off. You might take a few hits with the music experience, but just know you are getting better battery life, and your speaker is going to last for a longer period of time as well. And side note is actually Bluetooth 5.2. I just wanted to add that in there just in case. So if you want one of these, I'll leave the link down in the description below so that you can purchase it on Jumia, and I'll see you guys later.